Did you know that most soda contains around 40 to 45 grams of sugar in each can? That's about 11 teaspoons of sugar. Now just imagine scooping spoonful after spoonful of straight sugar and repeatedly dumping it in a beverage over and over just to get a better taste out of it. Doesn't seem so good, right? In troubling times like these, it's important that we monitor the foods that we consume because we're spending a lot more time indoors and less time being physical outdoors. Being someone who used to love to enjoy the addicting taste of junk food, I eventually ended up in horrible shape around middle school due to consistent consumption because I didn't know any better. But now I do. Over the period of time we've been told to stay inside due to COVID, I've taken up healthier eating and exercising because, as I said, I don't get out as much, and I wanted my food intake to match my daily physical activity. So I also decided to start making changes to what I put in my body. Substituting not so good food with healthier alternatives, and also giving a little bit of effort to exercise will gradually improve your overall health and physique if practiced at an appropriate and consistent rate. So, for those seeking nutritional guidance or those looking for a starting point to fitness, don't worry. Today I'm here to discuss how slightly modifying your everyday diet and also putting in a little effort to exercise will improve your health, your appearance, and will leave you feeling amazing in the end. But before I get into all the details for the process of making healthier decisions, I'm going to discuss a few major effects of neglecting nutrition. I'm sure we all know that as a country, we aren't looked at as the healthiest of nations. In fact, the US is tied with Lithuania for the 10th spot on a list of the most unhealthiest countries in the world, out of 195 other provinces. And according to a 2016 statistic report published by the CDC, about 72% of Americans aged 20 and over are either overweight or obese. And the continuance of ignoring proper nutrition while identified as either one of these could lead to severe health issues such as developing sleep apnea, heart disease, or even diabetes or cancer. Moving forward, I'm now going to discuss the simple and easy steps we can take to avoid developing any of these issues. Spending at least 30 to an hour of day 30 minutes to an hour of your day exercising or being physical will greatly reduce the chances of you developing any of these problems. Walking, biking, or even doing chores such as yard work are all moderate effort activities. Some more energy draining activities would include running, jumping rope, or weightlifting, which is what I've taken up for the time being. The National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases also states that to actually maintain weight loss, it may require you to be active for up to 45 minutes a day. And as I mentioned, also participating in a healthier diet will almost eliminate the chances of you developing any of these issues and will also improve your figure as well. Giving up junk food is guaranteed to make a difference. For me, I dropped all foods containing any high sodium or unnatural sugars, and it did in fact show a difference within the first, fifth, or sixth day of my new diet. Also, replacing foods such as red meats, white rice, and bread with lean and whole grain alternatives such as chicken, seafood, brown rice, wheat bread, and legumes will also greatly help in reconstructing your body. Finally, let's talk about the steps you need to complete and the amazing results you'd achieve if you don't end up quitting. Following these tips, you're guaranteed a difference by the end of the first week. For the starting point, it may be hard, but if you keep at a consistent pace, your body will allow you to continue doing more and more of whatever it is that you're doing. For me, I only began with doing 50 sit-ups my first day. Every other day after that, I added on 50 sit-ups until I eventually reached the 550 mark around nearing the end of my second week of my new routine. Right now I'm about a month and a half in, I'm borderline from having a six-pack. The amount of time we're supposed to spend indoors is indefinite. Therefore, inactivity and careless eating over this lengthy period of time could result in health consequences such as becoming overweight, or if the case is more severe, developing one of the serious health problems I mentioned earlier. As we're coming to a conclusion, I've given many great suggestions on how to maintain great health, from exercising to eating properly, as well as the effects and outcomes of enduring the grind and the consequences of ignoring these smart tips. So now it's time for you to make the change. But you gotta remember, The key is consistency. Your results in eating healthier and exercising ultimately rely in your determination for achieving great health and a greater appearance. And since we're all spending most of our time indoors, right now is the perfect time to get started and to start developing these habits without any outside distractions getting in the way of the progress you're going to make. And lastly, I'd like to end off with a quote, and I'd like you to carefully consider these words by late Catholic friar Francis of Assisi. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and then suddenly you're doing the impossible. Thank you.